So, whether you have followed me for a short time or a long time, you know that most of the time, if I'm sitting in this chair, this sign is right behind me. And I don't know if you've ever noticed what it says, but it says, "Mankind was my business." And it is a quote out of one of my favorite stories by Charles Dickens, A Christmas Carol. And that quote is not from the main character of this story, which is Ebenezer Scrooge. It is from his former business partner who died. And they were a pair of greedy, stingy, miserly, selfish businessmen. And we have a lot of those in our society. We have a lot of those in the world. And if you're not familiar with the story, Jacob comes back from the dead to warn Ebenezer that he will suffer a terrible fate in the afterlife if he does not change his ways. And this quote is from their conversation. Ebenezer says to Jacob, "But you were always a good man of business, Jacob." "Business?" cried the ghost, wringing his hands. "Mankind was my business. The common welfare was my business. Charity, mercy, forbearance, and benevolence were all my business. The dealings of my trade were but a drop of water in the comprehensive ocean of my business." Pretty soon, there are going to be a lot of people who are facing some really tough times, who are going to be struggling and trying to figure out how they're going to make ends meet. And even though it may not be your fault or technically your responsibility, I always think to myself, if I were in that situation, I would want somebody to make my situation their business. I am humbled by the fact that any one of us, so many of us, are one unfortunate circumstance away from having a very different life, from potentially losing our independence, from being able to work, from being able to provide for our families, to provide for ourselves. And so if you are able in the days to come, if you can think about at least one person, one stitch in the fabric of mankind that you can make your business, I want to encourage you to do it.